I'm really, really interested in finding what is it that sparked that interest in you, filmmaking? Like, where did it come from? And I want both that, and I want you to also talk to me about the first break that you got, the first opportunity, because there's a difference of having an interest in something, and especially within that kind of area that is very lucrative, so you can have that kind of interest, but then you either do not get the opportunity to pursue it, or you get the opportunity and you blow it. You don't recognize that that's an opportunity, and you pass by it. So talk to me about what sparked that interest in you, and then what brought up, what was the first opportunity that you got to be able to really break through in the industry?
It started when I moved to, I'm Trondheim area. I finished physical in Trondheim, and then I moved to Kristiansand. It's a hotel called Quality Hotel. I got a job there, and I was working. I took a gap year. So let me take 1 year off and work, and from there I go to start university, and I get all my document ready. I said I'm gonna apply in Kristiansand, but let me take 1 year off and work and save some money, and I can do a couple of stuff after. And during that process of working, and in Kristiansand, I live right in the city center, and in the city center next door is the cinema. The cinema is right next door to me, Yeah. So, and each time I will see a lot of people coming out from the cinema. They'll come out watching films. Even on the side, sometimes you can hear the
sound,
the sound from the cinema. You can hear the sound. So I was very close. And sometimes I'll, go in there, we'll watch some movies, we'll come out, the interest was in there because I was working on, I'm paying attention. But this day, there was a lady from Denmark, they were hosting like a film festival in Kristiansand. And they were hosting the film festival in a cinema that time. I think they rent the whole cinema, room and all that. They were hosting like a festival. And the lady came, they put like the banner, the red carpet, they put everything up there, man. It was looking nice, And then I was home, I was working that day, I was home, and she came to our house, she knocked at the door. They were looking for like, I think they were looking for some, I think it's a piano or some stuff they're looking for, I can't remember.
Mm-hmm.
She knocked at our door, and my neighbor came out, and oh yeah, we have some, they gave us some, and then I came outside, and then but that particular lady, the project she was working on is a documentary from Congo, right? It's a documentary she did from Congo on child soldier, So she was like premiered that particular documentary that time on the festival. So when she came out, she looked at me and I look at her. I don't know what happened because that like picture attention. She just keep looking at me, staring at me, and I look at her back, and I ask her what's going on. She said, "Oh, we have a film festival. You guys want to come?" I say, why is that? She said, like, we're showing different films from different places around the world. We have film from Brazil. We have some from the Middle East, from Iran. We have film from Africa. I said, oh, Africa? So when she mentioned Africa, it just got my attention straight. I said, okay, but no problem, I could come. I just, told my friends, but man, my friends are, okay, man, we don't have time to come, but, you can be there and have fun, I just went inside, changed my clothes, and when I sat, there, and then started watching. We watched two films one from Brazil, one from the US, and then they were showing this particular lady that invited me, her documentary from Congo. Her documentary was Chasudia. And when the documentary came on, man, like it's a what you really see happens in Africa, where you have child soldier fightings and all that, guns and using gunpowder to taking out some cocaine and all that just to get the strength and all that, and also little kids. Man, it was very graphic, to the sense that because it was very raw, like a raw documentary that they followed the people in Congo, how they were fighting, how they recruited some child soldier into, military or into the rebel they were fighting. So she document everything. She even did a couple of interviews with some family. Women have to give their kids, to the rebel because they will be killed. They have to force the kids to join, the rebel group in Congo. So the whole documentary, she put it together, and then I watched that documentary, and I was crying watching it, like tears rolling down my face. And the ladies keep looking at me, you know. And I stood there for a while. From there, the people was there asking questions. And then she said, "Oh, Prince, you have question?" I don't really know why she really like, want to me to be involved. I think the fact that because the documentary from Africa and I'm from Africa too, and I told her from Liberia, and she understood, the civil war from Liberia and then the civil war in
Yeah,
Congo.
yeah,
So
correct.
it's like kind of a little bit similar because of in Liberia have some child soldier too as well during the 90s when people were fighting. So it's the same thing in Congo too as well. So she asked me if I have a question, and I told her that, you know I don't have a question. She said, but there's something you want to share with us, you know. And I look at the lady for no. I said, no. I said, for me, I didn't experience the war, like other people do in Liberia. I was a baby when the war started, and I escaped with my parents to the Ivory Coast. So this is very graphic, and I listened to a lot of friends that were child soldier during the war and all that, but I didn't experience that. But this is, it's very bad, And then we have a discussion after that. We sat together on the table, drinking coffee, talking about the movie. She said, "But what do you think about the project?" I said, "It's good. This is good. This is like, showcasing what's happening, doing when there's a civil war in the country, what happened, how these things happen. It's good to educate people too as well. But I give them my opinion. I said this is very graphic. I don't think this is really, really necessary to put it together this way
To be able to tell the
because
story. Yeah.
yeah, to tell the story this way is very graphic and it's damaging to as well you know, to the African society or maybe to, Congo, for example, is very damaging. The way you guys portray the entire story, to say yes, but that's a reality of documentary. You have to be real with it. I say yeah, but at least you guys have to, not it's too graphic. She say yeah, that's what we have other people here to see it, and we're doing this project because we want to raise money to be able to help
Hmm.
family back in Congo and all that. That's how we do this documentary. I said, oh, okay, it's good. And then she and I started talking more and she said, we spent almost 5 hours on the table talking, and she was like, what do you think about Liberia? I said, well, what you show here, is similar to what happens in Liberia, and, she said, yeah, but there's a lot of story there too that need to be told. I say, yeah, of course, And then we started talking. My mind started trickling. I said, but what's the lady is leading to, And then I was like, how do you tell this story? And I started asking different questions. She said, I'm a filmmaker. I do documentary, fiction and all that, And I started saying, I started getting a lot of, interest in what she was saying. So we started talking. And then she said, you can meet me the next day. Our office is up here. You can come here, if you want to talk to me about, anything about Liberia. I'll be interested to listen, because that filmmaker and they always want to listen to
Hmm.
story from
Hmm.
Africa. So I think after 3 days, I didn't, get to her because I started reliving, some of the images that I saw. I started thinking about that. What used to happen in Liberia and all that. I started thinking about that too as well. I said, wow, this is very bad. You know, and then after 3 days, I went to the office upstairs. She started to talk. I said, listen, I have a story. Right away. I told her I have a story. I want to, I want to tell you. She said, yeah, what's the story? And I started telling her the story about, how we left from Liberia, to the Ivory Coast, stayed to Ivory Coast, went back to Liberia and come back to Ghana.
Hmm.
And she said, wow, that's an interesting story. And I said, yeah. I said, but this is something you can put into a movie. She said, yeah, it's possible, but I don't think I can do it. I think you can do it. I think you can write the story down, properly and see
Hmm.
how you can do it. I just went home, I started writing. I wrote the whole entire. I wrote about 10 pages of that story, and then from there I started putting some friends together in Christian, so making a movie. So
Yeah.
I still making a movie. I really got some people. I spoke to an Norwegian guy who's doing fame. He said, Prince, this is a good story, but it will take a lot of money to do the story, because we either need to get a green screen or we need to travel back to Africa to do the story. And I came back home. I felt discouraged. I just forgot about the whole story. I don't think I'm going to be interested in filmmaking. And then I met a lady again, and then she said, "You sure you want to do the story?" I said, "Yeah." She said, "But then you have to go to film school." And, so when she told me about that, I said, "Oh, really? They have a film school in Kristiansand?" She said, "I don't think so. I think they have one in Oslo and other places, so but you can check online." So she started helping me to figure out where I can go to film school, and that's how I moved to Oslo. And I started a film school. So I was like, "Listen, I got to go to the film school because I'm interested in storytelling." And she encouraged me a lot. She encouraged me. She said, "Prince, you need to do it if you think." Because I wrote the whole story. I even gave it to her. She read the whole treatment. She was very impressed. She said, "This is good. You narrate the story from your journey and all that. This is good." But to learn the basic of this, you need to go to a film school. At least, you'll be able to sit in class with some friends, and you get a professional teacher that will teach you. Because for me, I can't do that because I'm very busy. So that will help you to, get a knowledge of how to make your films and all that. I say yes. I took her advice, and the following school year, I just, left Kristiansand and moved to Oslo as I go to film school. That's how I get
Let,
involved.
let, let me let me tell you, this story is giving me goosebumps for real. Because yeah, this is one of the reasons why I decided to start this. I mean,
Yeah.
we are friends. We've been friends. We meet, to occasions. We talk, have conversations and whatnot. But very rarely we go, you know, beneath the surface. You know what I mean?
Mm.
We talk about stuff, everyday life, and that's what we do. We share our stories on Instagram, we share our stories on Facebook, but we just share the shallow stuff, And I I mean, this right there, like the story of how you left Liberia and went to the Ivory Coast and Ghana, and this how you got into filmmaking and how all of this was
Mm.
sparked in you. It's just amazing. I'm blown away
Yeah, man.
for real. I'm really happy you shared that story with us, and
Yeah,
for
because
sure.
in Ivory Coast, I used to like we used to watch these. My first time watching a movie in my life is the movie Titanic. I watched Titanic in the church. You know,
That was your first movie.
that's the first movie I ever watched.
Oh,
Titanic. I
you
watched
started
Titanic in the
dramatic.
church. Man, listen,
Wow.
we watched Titanic in the church. Can you imagine?
Mm.
Our pastor came from Abidjan. He brought this DVD of Titanic. He said, "Listen, this is a new movie." Everybody, I see the church will pack. Like a lot of people sitting on the ground. They put a movie Titanic. Then people crying. I see older people crying watching the movie. They thought it's rare. Man, I myself were crying too as well. I said, "This is happening in Europe. People are dying because the ship collapses." It's going to be real. That's the first time I watched a movie. And by that from that time we started watching, Chuck Norris, Rambo, all this movie in the
Yeah.
video club. We used to have a small video club.
Yeah.
That's our own cinema in the city video club. We used to watch these, action movie. And Chuck Norris was the biggest star by that time.
Yeah.
During the
Yeah.
'90s, stuff.
That's my man.
Yeah. So these are the movies we watching. But apart from that, I didn't have no knowledge in how we don't come from, people that do film. I come from that background. So it was very interesting for me to get the recommendation for a lady, a Danish lady, to say, "Prince, if you want to do this, you have to go to school." And I took her advice, because I figured that I have to do something different too as well, and I create interest in that. So I said, "Okay, good. For me to continue this, I have to go to a film school." So yeah, but
Love that. I love that, man.